Welcome to True Projects. In this video, we are going to explain the project Subjective and Objective Answers Evaluation. So before diving into the execution, let me give you an overview of the project. The project aims to facilitate the evaluation of subjective and objective answers using natural language processing, that is NLP techniques. Through this system, users can generate and assess responses to test questions, providing valuable insights into comprehension and knowledge retention. In education and professional assessment settings, the ability to accurately evaluate subjective and objective answers is essential for gauging understanding, proficiency, and learning outcomes. Traditional methods often rely on manual grading, which can be time consuming, subjective, and prone to human error. So, by leveraging NLP, this project automates the process, allowing for faster, more consistent, and more reliable evaluation. The project's methodology involves several key steps. Firstly, users input their name and select the type of test, that is subjective or objective, they wish to undertake. They then choose the subject area from options such as software testing, database systems, machine learning, or the ability to create a custom test. Based on the chosen parameters, the system generates relevant questions for the user to answer. So, for objective tests, questions are selected from a provided corpus with answers evaluated against predefined correct responses. NLP techniques such as part of speech tagging and chunking are used to identify potential question sets within the corpus. Users select their answers and the system calculates scores based on similarity to the correct answers. Similarly, for subjective tests, users are presented with questions that prompt detailed explanations or definitions. NLP methods are employed to generate these questions from the corpus, ensuring relevance and diversity. So, users submit their answers, which are then evaluated for similarity to the original answers using cosine similarity scoring. So, this is what happens. And the beneficiaries of this project include educators, trainers, and professionals involved in assessment and evaluation processes. By automating answer evaluation, the system saves time, reduces grading bias, and provides valuable feedback to learners. Students and test takers also benefit from more efficient and consistent assessment, enabling better understanding of the strengths and areas for improvement. So, the primary objective of the project is to streamline the evaluation process for both subjective and objective assessments, enhancing efficiency, accuracy, and reliability. By integrating NLP techniques into the evaluation framework and providing a user friendly interface through a Flask web application, the project aims to revolutionize the way tests are conducted and graded, ultimately improving the learning and assessment experience for all stakeholders. Now we'll see the software and hardware requirements. Software requirements needed are: software needed is Anaconda, primary language required is Python, front-end framework required is Flask, backend framework needed is Jupyter Notebook, database used is SQLite 3, and front-end technologies required are HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and Bootstrap 4. Hardware requirements needed are operating system of Windows, processor of i5 and above, RAM of 8 GB and above, and hard disk of 25 GB and above. Execution of the project. So to execute this project, first we need to open the code folder which contains the project source code files. So this is corpus folder which contains text data relevant to different subjects. So I have DBMS machine learning and software testing data here. This data helps in creating test questions and evaluating answers. This is database folder where a user log file will be created. So the user log file records data such as the date and time of the test, the user name, subject details, test type, score, and results. It provides a comprehensive record of user interactions, aiding in tracking progress and analyzing performance over time. This is source folder. This folder comprises a static folder which contains files related to CSS, JavaScript, and Bootstrap. These files contribute to the visual and interactive aspects of the application. And source folder also contains a templates folder. Within this folder, we'll find all the HTML pages used throughout the project. It includes pages like index.html, home.html, and more, representing various sections of the website. And it also contains Python code files. These files consist of Python code that will be executed during the runtime of the application, supporting its functionality. And this is manage.py file. This .py file contains the information related to front-end logic. It includes code written in Python that handles server-side operations such as processing user requests, interacting with the database, and generating dynamic content to be rendered in the HTML templates. So now copy the path of the code folder from the address bar of the file explorer. I'm copying it. Open Anaconda prompt. So now use the command cd followed by a space and paste the copied path and hit the enter button. So this command is used to change the current directory to the code folder's path. Now compile the manage.py file using the command python space manage.py. I'm typing python space manage.py and hit the enter button. So this command will execute the Python script and perform a runtime check for any syntax errors or logical issues. After running the manage.py file, the Flask framework will host the application locally at the default address localhost and port unless configured differently. Now copy the local link provided by the framework. I'm copying it and paste it into any web browser. I prefer Chrome. So after pasting it, hit the enter button. The home page of the project has been displayed in the browser. This is the front end built using Flask framework. So this is the front end. So now we have to enter a username here. I'm giving it as 2 projects. Click on start button. So we have logged in as 2 projects. We can see that here. Now we have to select the test type, whether we want to take a objective test or a subjective test. I'm opting objective test. Now we have to select the subject. So software testing, database system, machine learning, or we can also create a custom test. I am selecting machine learning. So based on the chosen parameters here are objective test and machine learning. So the system generates relevant questions for the users to answer. Click on take test button. So these are the generated questions by the system. So NLP methods are employed to generate these questions from the corpus. So I have already shown the corpus folder before, in which I have a machine learning file. So from that data, these questions have been created. Now we have to answer them. I'm giving it as clustering. This would be machine learning. And this would be clustering. Now click on submit button. So we can see this is the score. I have secured 66.67%. And this is the result, that is pass. So as I am the first person to take the test, all the scores are the same. Max score is 66.67, minimum score is 66.67. So the mean score is 66.67. Click on logout. We'll create another user. This time username would be true. Click on start. Test type would be objective test. And I'm selecting subject as machine learning. Click on take test button. So the questions have been changed. So I'm answering this as clustering. This would be machine learning. And this would be machine learning. Now click on submit button. So we can see this time the score secured is 33.33%. And we can see the result here, that is pass. And the maximum score is 66.67%, which is secured by true projects. This is the minimum score, that is 33.3%. And the mean score calculated using these two scores is 50%. Click on logout. We'll try with another user. This time username would be true1. Click on start. Objective test. And the subject is machine learning. Click on take test button. I'm answering the questions. And click on submit button. So we can see this is the score secured. And here we can see the result, that is fail. Now we can see the maximum score, that is 66.67%. This is the mean score, 33.33. And this is the minimum score. Click on logout. Now we'll enter the username as true projects. We'll log in as true projects. Click on start. So we have logged in as true projects. This time we'll select the test type as subjective and the subject would be software testing. Click on take test button. So these are the questions generated. Now we have to answer these questions in descriptive format as we have selected the subjective test from the option. So we have to answer them now. So I have entered the answers. Now click on submit button. So we can see I have secured 91.49% and the result is pass. So as I'm the first person who have attempted the subjective test, all the max, mean and minimum scores are the same, 91.49%. Click on logout. This time username would be true. Click on start. We have logged in as true. The test type is subjective and subject is software testing. Click on take test button. We have to answer these questions. So I have answered the questions. Now click on submit button. We can see the percentage secured is 75.94 and the result is pass. We can see the max score, that is 91.49, which is secured by true projects. This is the minimum score right now. And this is the mean score calculated using these two scores. Click on logout. This time we'll log in as true1. Click on start button. We have logged in as true1. The test type is subjective test. Subject is software testing. Click on take test button. Answer these questions in descriptive format. I have answered them. Now click on submit button. We can see the score here, that is 46.82%. And this is considered as fail. So we can see the color difference also. If it is pass, this is represented as green color. And if it is fail, it is represented with red color. And here we can see the scores have been changed. The maximum score is 91.49, which is secured by true projects. Now this is the minimum score here. And the mean score is calculated from all the three scores, the true projects, true and true1 score. Click on logout. So in this way, we have to select the test type and the subject and click on take test button, fill the answers and click on submit button. The system will evaluate the answers and give the results if the person is passed or failed. And we can see the percentage we have secured and we can see the maximum, minimum, and mean scores of the users who have taken the test. And in the code folder, in the database folder, so as I mentioned, a user log file has been created in which all these details, the date and time of the test, the username, that is true projects, true one, the subject, if it is machine learning, software engineering, etc., the subject ID, test type, if it is subjective or objective, the test ID, the scores secured, and the result, if it is passed or fail, has been recorded. So, through this, we can track the progress and analyze the performance over time. So, in this way, by integrating NLP methods, we can generate objective and subjective questions and we can facilitate efficient evaluation. So, we have seen using Flask framework, we can access customized tests, receive instant results, and track performance through user logs, enhancing learning and assessment processes.
Thank you for watching video. For more projects please visit our website www.trueprojects.in. For updates on latest project videos, please visit True Projects YouTube channel and subscribe.